innovative content, global audience.
Hello, good morning, viewers. Yes, it's another beautiful Monday here in the Federal Capital Territory. We're reaching you live from our SRTV studio here in Abuja. It's a new week, new hopes, new expectations. And today I have with you on the show
MARYVAL Easy.
Yes. I present to you viewers MARYVAL, and this is Wake Up Nigeria. My name is Princess KESSY. You know how we do it here, the newspaper reviews, but we have a lot of trending issues. But before that, Mary, how was your weekend?
My weekend was cool. Like, I have a testimony today, but
What happened?
you know, I actually entered one chance motor. Why come this morning?
Are you serious?
Yes. Like, so it was when they were trying to collect my phone. I had to drag my phone with them. Collected my bag. I opened the door and I left. Then it was my money that they had to collect.
Okay, they've not started driving at that point.
I didn't even know that was their strategy. When I entered, they were like, lock the door. So I was still holding my phone. I was trying to lock it. Now,
How many of them?
You know that the motor is complete. I'm just the last person to complete the motor. So I'm even so surprised. So I just carried my bag and they were like, lock the door. I was trying to lock it. They were like, use your other hand to lock it now. The thing is not lucky. I don't know that is their strategy. So the next thing, I just had to keep my phone to lock it. So I noticed that my phone was like this. I was like, what's the meaning of this? So I just collected. Thank God the door was not locked. I carried my bag and I left. So when I got down,
There were no people around, like
maybe that is the reason why they
didn't hurt you and all that.
But I didn't know that when I was trying to lock it, they already carried the money on my purse. So I didn't know. So when I entered another motor, I noticed that the purse was empty. There was no money. So I had to like beg the driver, please take me to any ATM or POS so that I can withdraw and give to you. That was how I was able to even come to work this morning.
Wow. We know that this subsidy removal, I always tell people when you're there, this is the time you have a lot of one chance on the streets. They are everywhere. They are just looking for innocent people to prey on. So you should be careful. And funny enough, they look so innocent. They look like you, so you don't even know when you fall into their hands.
Man that was the driver. So I was like, this kind of elderly man, you are still living this kind of life at this old age.
I've seen scenarios where women with children, little children, are even part of them. So I just really do hope, and that's why I used to appeal to car owners. If you have a car, help as many people you can help, sincerely and genuinely. It's no longer funny. Well, thank God that you didn't, and I hope the money is not even much.
Just 3,000 naira.
At least thank God for your life and for your phone, because it would have been worse. So we're happy that it's just 3K they went away with. Anyway, we hope that people out there, you'll be more careful, know the kind of vehicle. Maybe you should start going to the parks.
It wasn't from the park I entered, but if I say let me enter direct to Apple Bridge, it will waste my time. So I had to just short it beggar, like from beggar to Apple Bridge. So that we're able to
even at that, you try next time to go there early, use the park. It's better off. I always tell people, go to the park. The rate of one chance is becoming unbecoming. In fact, I need to talk about that on the show. Anyway, well, thank God for your life. And we saw a lot of trending issues this morning. We have a lot of topical issues, viewers. And we know that Labour is now kicking again. For what reason, I do not know. I know the other time they had talks with federal government and they had to shove their sword. And all of a sudden, they are threatening another strike. Even at that time, you called off the strike. The pain was still unbearable. The reason of calling off the strike is what I do not know. And now you're going back to that strike. I'm going to bring you ahead of information for us to see to the end of that news we're seeing this morning. And of course, we see a lot of other trending issues about Nigeria pilgrims. We saw a lot of banditry here and there. We do hope that the security chiefs will be on top of their game. Anyway, I will have, before we go on, I'll be bringing in a guest later on the show. He is Comrade Danielson Aban, the global president, African Youth Democratic Congress, and the former president of National Association of the Nigerian Students. He's going to join us later on the show. But before then, we'll kickstart with the reviews, and these are some of the stories coming from the national dailies. Now, I'm going to start with the Punch newspaper. These are some of the stories coming from the Punch. The main headline here says, subsidy Labour threatens strike, resumes talks with federal government. And the rider says pains becoming unbearable, strike suspended, not called off. Now, this is coming from NLC and TUC this morning on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. As well, there's a story here coming from the Punch that says CBN removes saving withdrawal limits on domiciliary accounts, and that story is on page 35 of the Punch newspaper. As well, there's a story here that says NUT lambasts governors as teacher shortage rises, on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. There's a story here that says power projects, FG secures $750 million World Bank loan, on page 34 of the Punch newspaper. There's a story here as well that says NDLEA nabs quarter-based drug barons seizes cannabis. That story is on page 19 of the Punch newspaper. We have a story here that says ship owners reject proposed NIMESA customs merger, on page 34 of the Punch newspaper. As well, there's a story here that says 8 feared killed as flood submerges Lagos community, and that story is on page 4 and 5 of the Punch newspaper. We also have a story here that says operator overloaded ill-fitted boats with 250 passengers. Now, this is coming from Niwa, and that story is on page 14 of the Punch newspaper. These are all the stories we have coming from the Punch this morning.
Oh, a lot on the Punch.
Quite a lot. And I'll say the main headline here: Labour threatens strike. Wow. Pains unbearable, strike was suspended, not called off. Now, this is coming from the organized labor this morning. We saw what happened 2 weeks ago. So much energy. Nigerians were expecting the strike. A lot of agencies were already trying to back them up, coming out, even the aviation, the banks, and then later on, we don't know what happened. They went on 6 hours closed door meeting, and that was the end of it. But I'm still going to call the head of operations informations this morning to see what's going on. And then there's a story here that says CBN removes savings withdrawal limits on domiciliary accounts. Yes, I am happy.
Yeah,
I personally do deals, international deals. That's the business I do, and placing a limit is not good for us. I could want to buy a car. I just saw a car that is cheap, or a car that is from the option grant, and I want to pay immediately. And you know how it is: if you don't pay within a certain limit, it becomes a problem. Another bidder just gets the car. So sometimes these things are timely, and the limits will not demand me paying some today, paying some tomorrow. You can't pay that. Even the white people won't take you serious. So because of that, sometimes I tend to pay into somebody's account for like 1 week, and then I know I'm done with the payments. But if we can do this, that means we can pay direct to the company we are buying from, and that is a good one. And I saw a story here: NUT lambast governors as teachers shortage rises. I don't know what's going on with the Nigerian Union of Teachers, but like we did say the other time, I brought an educational consultant on the show, and he said the whole NUT, the whole teachers teach. The other time we also saw that 80, 90 something, 70 something percent were unqualified to teach in secondary school and in primary schools. So we are of the opinion that the whole system should be sanitized, because that is the age which impacts the needful knowledge into the kids, into the children.
And once you bring unqualified people, it affects the younger
ones. It affects them. And if you are not able to impact the right knowledge on them at that age, it becomes difficult for them trying to catch up later in the future. And this shortage, I don't know why they are having shortage. Maybe because of that report, they are now sanitizing the system, removing people that are not qualified.
Going through proper examination.
Yes.
This person is qualified. Not just bring anybody.
But then I remember way back in school, in the university, I know when we go to the faculty education, you have a lot of students. So where are they? Is it that they are not willing to teach? We know that is a dumping site according to.
A lot of people don't value teachers. They
They
feel like,
don't.
yes, they want to go for other profession. They tell you go for it. They don't want to be a teacher. And about this collecting anybody as a teacher, I think where we have the problem is in the private sector, because you see these private schools, because they tend not to pay much, so they bring anybody. You see somebody that just finished from secondary school teaching a
Teaching,
secondary school
it's
person.
yes.
You get, so I can't say that person becoming qualified, but because of the amount they pay, they're not paying much. They tend to employ anybody, even whether you are fit or not.
But funny enough, secondary school children pay so much. Some of the school fees, if you hear it, you will start feeling headache.
But you know
Look
you are
at my
humans
kid.
now.
Look at my younger
But the
ones.
privates pay more, and that
It's
private that
getting to me.
brings in only
Sometimes
first
I
class
pay for
teachers.
their school fees. I'm groaning. I'm squeezing my face,
I be
paying
like,
that school fees.
this kid, imagine the kind of money I'm paying
And
for this.
then I don't expect a less teacher. I'm not saying less as a human being, but unqualified teacher to teach her, because
What
I
secondary school
paid
right
so
now is
much.
secondary school graduate that is still teaching them. The SSE
So I
holders,
think
they
because
have
of that news that trended just, I think last month, they are now beginning to sanitize the whole system. And then I don't know why they are lambasting the governors, but you will want to see more of that story on page 2 of the Punch News paper. And why are we borrowing? Power project. Federal government secures $750 million World Bank loan. Again,
even right now
I thought
with the subsidy
I
removal.
thought with the new government, we've moved beyond
Please.
borrowing. They said no money for subsidy. We can no longer borrow. All of a sudden, we are borrowing. Anyway,
There's
I
another
said,
headline here I saw that caught my attention. Operators overloaded ill-fated boat with 250 passengers.
yes, I saw that
I
story
think
yesterday. That boat, that very incident that took a lot of lives. The boat was not strong enough. The boat was not okay as well. So it's just as if your vehicle is not strong, cannot go quite a distance, and then you decide to bring in as much as so many people, loading it with so much.
because sometimes I feel like as a driver, most times you know the strength of your car. Even you as a car owner, you tend to know the strength of your car. You know when this car is kind of not strong enough to carry a particular load. But these people, I think they don't even care about the particular.
It's the money they care
Yeah,
about.
it's just out of selfishness that these things happen.
It's the
And
money
this
they care about.
kid has flood submerges Lagos community. I don't know, Lagos. I think their own flood stuff is becoming alarming. Sometimes I feel like
But before now, even 9 months, there was a time 9 months also earlier this year said the flooding this year will be as almost
we
what we
announced it
saw
earlier on.
last year.
Yeah.
So I was thinking before now, measures would have been put in place, but it's bad that up to now we're still having. We know we cannot even overcome flood totally. That's just the truth.
Really?
But yes, totally, it can be totally. There are some places that are just prone to flood when it rains, and there's nothing you can do. There are drainages, the roads are well constructed, but the flooding will still be there. There's nothing you can do. But when you put measures in place, it helps also to cushion the effect, or, well, I don't know, just to reduce the number of years.
Okay.
Anyway, we'll move on quickly to the next newspaper we have coming this morning
From the Daily Trust newspaper. And here the big headline: over 15,000 Nigerian pilgrims yet to be airlifted. Okay, and here another rider says NACON AHUON activate rescue flights. Here another story says tour operators intending pilgrims lament. And here another headline says Sultan declares June 28th Eid el-Kabir. You can find other story on page 4 of the Daily Trust newspaper this morning. And here we have another headline that says Tinubu Advisory Council recommends sale of refineries, other assets. You can find that story on page 14 of the Daily Trust newspaper this morning. And here another headline says Nigerian farmers have been victimized, says Obasanjo. You can find that story on page 34 of the Daily Trust newspaper this morning. And another headline says CBN lifts restriction on the domiciliary account, allows $10,000 daily withdrawal. You can find that story on page 4 of the Daily Trust newspaper this morning. And here we have another headline that says homeowners cry out as Kano governor marks houses for demolition. And here another headline says how Nigeria can leverage tech to solve housing problems. You can find that story on page 28 of the Daily Trust newspaper this morning. And here we have another headline that says 2 killed, houses, shops burnt in Plateau. You can find that story on page 32 of the Daily Trust newspaper this morning. And here we have another headline that says Osimhen hits Breeze as Super Eagles qualify for 2023 AFCON. You can find that story on page 24 of the Daily Trust newspaper. I think that's all the story we have this morning.
I think Kano government should be stopped already. I don't know. Federal government should stop him. Somebody that is above him should stop him. I don't know what's going on in
It's not even
Kano,
easy to own a
but
house
he just came in. It's not even
It's
up to
already-
2 weeks, or when did he come in
I
again?
thought it was even market at first. Right now,
No, runabouts, houses, hotels, public places. He's just bringing down structures. We said this on Friday. I think Ene said that on the show. Why is it that they cannot build on legacies? They just come and totally destroy so much, and then you start building. Meanwhile, you won't even complete, and then you leave. Another person comes and they start breaking. So the energy we use in building, you use in destroying.
I feel they don't even have a proper plan. They just
Okay,
wish.
even if maybe these houses, shops, or places that are obstruction, causing some kind of, what's it called, but there's a way you go about it. I think since that man came into power, the only thing I've been hearing from Kano is demolition. So I think the federal government should stop him already.
Like that.
I used to think that this was targeted at a certain people or a group of people, but I'm thinking it's beyond that already. We know the ex-governor even said at a point that there was a day he said he wanted to slap him.
Wow.
Something that happened. They had to stop them. As regarding to demolitions, so I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's targeted at the ex-governor or some other past government officials. But at this point, whatever you do have a positive impact on a negative impact on the citizens. A lot of people have shops, a lot of people have houses, they live there. The country is too hard for people to start, for these government officials to be demolishing people's houses, their shops. Where do you want them to go to? It's the same thing they've been doing in Abuja here. You demolish their houses, their shops. Some people are stranded. I saw somebody the other time. My friend sent me a video that, what can I do? Should they bring this man on my show? The person, and I said okay, but fortunately the next day they didn't know where the man went to. The phones, the mattress, the cooking things were outside. The man just left even his clothes. Who knows what would have happened to the man? This is terrible. They should stop already. Federal government should find a way to stop these people. You can't keep putting more pressure in the life of citizens just because you became governor or one officials like that you feel okay, now I'm on top of the world. Don't forget, the same thing you're doing now, tomorrow you will leave. Somebody else will come and even want to destroy your own house as well.
This position is
transferred. Power is transferred. It's not like you will be there forever. So please, we move on quickly. And then I think I saw a story here. Osimhen hits Brace
as Super Eagles qualify for 2023 AFCON. Wow.
Well, congratulations to them. They've done well. And there's a story here. I see what is going on in Plateau, Jos. I don't know. We had the commissioner from that state, I think, on Friday on the show. Okay. So, but since that Friday up to now, a lot of killings, a lot of houses burns, a lot of people displaced.
It's Kaduna. The thing is just too much. I don't know. Please, the federal government should do something about this. We need security. We need a lot of security in the country because the killing has been much, and it looks like it's not a normal thing. If you hear that this particular state has been killing, like people are not seeing that a normal thing in the country.
And there's a story I'm seeing here: 4 days to go, over 15,000 Nigerian pilgrims yet to be airlifted. Naho activate rescue flights. Tour operators intending pilgrimage laments. Sultan declare. Okay, I don't understand what's going on, but I know from day one of this Saudi movement, there has been lamentations, complaints. They are not well treated there. Sometimes they don't have roofs. So I don't understand, but why do they keep going? That's my questions.
Then you ask yourself, is it that there's a lot of money?
It's not money. They are going is religious activity, so it's not for the money. It's for prayers. But at the end of the day,
but I feel like there's not option because since I've been there, I've been one cool thing.
But that is where Muslim people go to. Just like UK, it's Christian. You want to go for a pilgrim tour. You go to Jerusalem. When will you go to Japan?
Because the complaint has been too much. This is not favorable to them. Is it not?
I just really hope that they are okay there, and we pray that their prayers also will be accepted. by Almighty God. And then we move also quickly to Vanguard newspaper. These are some of the stories making waves this morning. We have a story here. The main headline says Cabinet in fighting as APC camps pitch for ministerial jobs. And the rider says lobbyists besiege Asa Rock. President may send list to Senate July 4th. Special advisors may supervise ministers. Now, all the stories are on page 5 of the Vanguard newspaper. There's a story here that says Kwara boats mishap. NIWA blames windy rain, overloading, lack of navigational aid on page 41 of the Vanguard newspaper. There's a story here as well that says NGE President Atiku Saraki Oyembanjo Sanwo-Olu congratulates Eze Anaba on page 10 of the Vanguard newspaper. There's another story here that says electricity, 58% of consumers without meters. This is coming from NERC on page 8 of the Vanguard newspaper. There's a story here as well that says 24 hours curfew declared in Plateau local government area. And that story is on page 13 of the Vanguard newspaper. Another story here says Islamization comments. El-Rufai should be invited by DSS. This is coming from NBF. And that story is on page 9 of the Vanguard newspaper. There's a story here as well that says 10th Senate. Disclose pensions paid to you as ex-governors. Sarah tells Akpabio. Orders on page 10 of the Vanguard newspaper. We also have a story here that says financial. There's this, the headline says manufacturers spend 144.5 billion naira on self-generated power in 1 year. And that story is on page 8 of the Vanguard newspaper. We also have a story here that says forest allow customers free access to domiciliary account funds. CBN orders banks. And that story is on page 8 of the Vanguard newspaper. We also have a story here that says economy, Nigerians power generators with cooking gas, and that story is on page 7 of the Vanguard newspaper. We have a story as well that says bandits kill local chief, his 4 children in Kaduna. That story is on page 6 of the Vanguard newspaper. As well, there's a story here that says Villawi demand 13 billion naira for Chukwueze. This is coming from the desk spot of Vanguard, and these are all the stories we have coming from Vanguard this morning. A lot, and I saw a story here. We did say it earlier that the Kwara boat mishap. We were blaming it on windy rains and overloading. You know, you're in rainy season, it's raining, and this thing the boat was over. The weight was overloaded, the weight was too much. That was issue as well. And then there's a story here as well that says there's this major story here, the picture story here that says manufacturers spend 144.5 billion on self-generated power in 1 year. That is quite a lot. And also relating to that economy, Nigerians power generators with cooking gas. Is that not even risky?
Like, but
I don't get it. No, I saw a picture yesterday. I think 2 days ago. I saw a video of a guy that was actually there's a way he connected the generator to the gas.
Wow.
This 12 kg gas, and he said that he will be using that he will use it for 1 month. Is it not better for him?
I'm surprised it's even working.
But it's working. Oh. It's working well. I don't know. And now people actually, the guy posted that online, and everybody has been going to do the same. But you know how anything gas can be very dangerous. Even me in my own house, I tend to cook. I tend to use gas. You could see me sometimes when I try to light my gas, I will be drawing myself away, not for no reason. I will just be far away. And when I know the thing is not stable, I will just now move close and I try to bring it low. I'm so scared because I used to have then my cousin used to have these neighbors. They actually, I don't know what happened, gas exploded and people a lot of people were killed. Like a gas exploded in this house, and the whole flat everywhere was consumed, and people died, people injured because of that horrible sight. I tend to be careful with gas. I really do hope Nigerians will be careful as well. And bandits kill local chief. It's 4 children in Kaduna. This is horrifying.
If it's not like, I don't know, never gets a kid.
This is horrifying. This is horrifying. We'll move on quickly to the next newspaper we have, but before then, we're going to go on a quick break now. When we return, we'll continue with the reviews of the papers. Don't go anywhere. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this break.
Hooray! It's Nigeria Week London 2023. This is a celebration of Nigerian foods, film, arts, culture, fashion, music, dance, and comedy. Also, there will be a comprehensive economic summit, exhibition of Nigerian organic agricultural produce, and a meritorious recognition performance awards to deserving Nigerians and industry icons. Nigeria Week will showcase Afrobeat A-list artists, Ice Prince, Terry G, Orishefemi, Oris Wiliki, Konga, Bigiano, Nice Flow, Jetplay, and many more. Dates: 17th to 23rd July 2023. Time 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. daily. Venue: Lighthouse Theatre, 262 to 274 Camberwell Road, London, SE50AY. Tickets available on Eventbrite at www.eventbrite.com/Nigeria Week or numbers below. For more details, visit our website www.superiorradioandtelevision.com. Nigeria Week, produced by SRTV in partnership with the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture, Nigeria Film Corporation, and lots more.
Okay, my people, it could not be better than this. The Nigerian Week in London 2023 got you covered to the extent that you can get a free ticket to the event. And this is all you need to do. Go to the Google Play Store.
Hello viewers, you're welcome back from that quick break. This is Wake Up Nigeria. We're reaching you live from our SRTV studio here in Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory. We're still on the newspaper reviews, and we'll move on with
the next paper coming from the Guardian newspaper this morning. And here the big headline says, household under pressure as new electricity tariff due July 1st. You can find that story on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. And here another headline says, amid subsidy removal pains, experts advocate long-term benefits. You can find that story on page 3 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. And here another headline says, professionals deplore high cost of treatment as World Sickle Cell Day holds. You can find that story on page 3 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. And here we have another headline that says, fools overbuilt to regulate Christian preaching. You can find that story on page 4 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. And here we have another headline that says, 10th NAS Assembly. Disclose pension paid to you as ex-governor. Sarah tells Akpabio others. You can find that story on page 5 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. And then we have another headline that says, petrol subsidy. Government, Labour resume negotiation on implementation framework. You can find that story on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. And here we have another headline that says, I was poisoned at PDP office. Suffered liver, kidney failure, says Wiki. You can find that story on page 23 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. I think that's all the story we have today in the Guardian newspaper.
Professionals deploy high cost of treatment as World Sickle Cell Day holds. I don't know why such medication shouldn't be free. They are supposed to be free.
And I'm now seeing high cost of treatment.
These medications, as far as you're a sickle cell patient, you walk into either private or government hospitals, you're supposed to just be attended to free medication.
Yeah.
Just the way they're giving to HIV patients, I know most of their medications are free. So I don't know why sickle cell should be using their money to buy. I once interviewed an expert that said, as far as he is concerned, if he becomes the president or a state governor, he will even want, if you go to the extent of sanitary pads should be free, because we have people that all fingers are not the same. Some parents might be able to afford this thing, while some children might not be able to. So what becomes of these children? I don't know why sickle cell medications are now are very high in buying. The cost is becoming high when you can just give them for free, please. And There's a story here that says Wike said he was poisoned.
I wanted to even talk about that one.
Poisoned at PDP office, suffered liver, kidney failure. Wow, that's a sad one. But we know that somebody like Wike will definitely have so many enemies because
Sure,
we know he's not like he's a troublemaker per se, but we know that Wike cannot let a sleeping dog lie. Once you touch Wike will touch you back. That is just the kind of man he is. I used to call him my man. But anyway, we are really happy that he's okay now. I will move on quickly to the next newspaper we'll have, and that will be I saw a story here. Fees over bill to regulate Christian preaching. Where is that coming from? Who will even bring up such a motion? Is it that these people go to this National Assembly and they don't know of all the issues bordering on us as a people?
Security. To talk about the
of all the issues we have in the country. We have killings, we have bad roads, we have Nigerians in diasporas.
They leave the major and they talk about the minor.
This is not even a minor as far as I'm concerned. Because if you're saying Christian bill, I know places where other religions early in the morning they wake you up with prayers.
Sure.
You won't be able to sleep well. So what becomes of those ones as well? You don't. So I don't understand what's going on. Why we even stand up in the green chambers or the red chambers to say, okay, I'm raising a motion that I'm passing one Christian bill to regulate preaching.
Can be a problem to somebody's life.
I don't understand. Isn't that
you see?
Do you know? During last week up to today, the rate of accidents we've recorded. I actually wanted to bring Commander Wobi Gora here this morning. I was looking for his number. I don't know why I misplaced it. I couldn't find it on my phone anymore. His card. Something actually happened over the weekend. I lost the energy to look for anything. But I don't get it. We have too many things happening. And then you're here talking about, oh, please, our lawmakers, they should do better than this.
These are the kind of one you see them taking action very fast. Which is not
they should do better than this.
I don't know.
Anyway, we'll move on quickly to the next newspaper we have, and that will be coming from the Blueprint newspaper. These are some of the stories making waves. We'll have here, wife of slay Kaduna monarch, bandits killed my husband, 4 sons married with children. And the rider says curfew imposed in Plateau community, police beef up security. And the second rider says chief imam of Ondo community kidnapped, freed. All those stories on page 6 of the Blueprint newspaper. We also have a story here that says NACO lifts 6,993 pilgrims to Saudi Arabia. Eid al-Adha to hold on June 28th, and that story is on page 5 of the Blueprint newspaper. There's a story here also that says AFCON qualifiers, Helena Cho fly ex-Eagles to Kodo Ivory, and that story is on page 31 of the Blueprint newspaper. As well, there's a story here that says Atiku Lord's NGE election, congratulates Anaba, other officials, on page 7 of the Blueprint newspaper. We also have a story here that says police return ex-Governor Matawale's vehicle, says PPRO, on page 15 of the Blueprint newspaper. We also have a story here that says Naira devaluation may cause rise in importation costs. This is coming from MAN, and that story is on page 24 of the Blueprint newspaper. We also have a story here that says APC has drifted from expectations of Nigerians. This is coming from Northwest, and that story is on page 6 of the Blueprint newspaper. Vice Chair for GDP growth, Africa must invest in youth, women, technology. And this is coming from Ezekwesili this morning on page 6 of the Blueprint newspaper. These are all the stories we have coming from the Blueprint this morning. There's a story here that says for GDP growth, Africa must invest in youth, women, technology. I don't see the lie there. That is just the truth. Coming from Ezekwesili. That is one thing I love about that woman. When she says anything, it's always meaningful. So I love that. They should invest in technology in the youth, especially the youth. You cannot have a better future without empowering the youth today. What will become of the youth tomorrow? So please, we should empower the youth. And then this story here that says Kaduna, wife of slay Kaduna monarch, is really sad. Bandit killing the husband, the four sons. I don't know how that woman is supposed to live. Over the weekend, I lost somebody in my family, my younger sister, and they've been trying so hard in my house to hide it from me. I have been cold. All of a sudden, I started feeling cold, but I don't know where that was coming from. I just thought I was ill, and when I got to find that I lost my younger sister and the husband the same day, I couldn't say a word. I was moping. I was there for hours, for a day. I felt like I didn't remember what food. Yes, I didn't remember what food was. I didn't remember what nothing. Like I was one place, and when I checked the time, when I finally stood up, I noticed that I've been there for over 6 hours, one place, no movement. And this is it's something that, so I could imagine what everybody at home is going through now, let alone your husband, your four sons. So sometimes if things like this have not happened to you, you don't understand, you don't tend to understand what people are going through. We sit here on a daily basis, we read about bandits, killers, kidnappers. You don't know what people go through. This is the pain people go through on daily basis in some parts of the country. This is the pain human beings are the torment. And some people will just tell you there is nothing to live for. We saw last week on the news where a young girl killed herself. Sometimes people just, and I saw on the news yesterday where a banker also killed himself because I think he borrowed 1 million naira he couldn't pay back. He had to end it all. So people are going through a lot, and they tell you that place where, okay, what am I even living for? So if you see the way I reacted to this news, my mother said was worried. We were worried about her BP. She was even more worried that, oh, why we didn't tell me this? Because I was, even my elder brother, he couldn't say something for a long time. He had to quickly turn off his phone because the shock was too much. Some things we used to see them in the home Nigerian movies, and you say, okay, it's a movie. Not until they happen to you, you now see the pains that people are going through. And then we have things like this ravaging people, and somebody is at the National Assembly raising a motion of passing a bill on Christian preaching. Please, I'm thinking, I have been crying from the day Tinubu came in, that why not focus this so much energy on the security? Just tackle it head on. Whatever happened, let it happen, but just tackle it. How can one woman lose husband?
4 children.
And you know what happened to my younger sister? She lost her husband. They told her. She shouted. The shock killed her. So how can a woman now lose the husband and 4 sons? Please, government, do something. I feel her pain. I'm in her shoes. I feel her pain right now. It happened to me some days ago. Somebody close to me. The pain is unbearable. Government should do something about this. And then I saw a story here that says APC has drifted from the expectations of Nigerians. We don't want to believe, so it's too early to tell. But we are thinking that the energy should be focused on security and other
killing is still happening. No changes at all.
And other issues. This is all we have coming from the Blueprint newspaper this morning. Viewers, will go on a quick break. I'll go to bring my guests, and when we return, after that, we'll continue with the reviews of the papers. Don't go anywhere. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this break.
Hooray! It's Nigeria Week London 2023. This is a celebration of Nigerian foods, film, arts, culture, fashion, music, dance, and comedy. Also, there will be a comprehensive economic summit, exhibition of Nigerian organic agricultural produce, and a meritorious recognition performance awards to deserving Nigerians and industry icons. Nigeria Week will showcase Afrobeat A-list artists, Ice Prince, Terry G, Orishefemi, Oris Wiliki, Konga, Bijiano, Nice Flow, Jet Play, and many more. Dates, 17th to 25th July 2023. Time 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. daily. Venue Lighthouse Theatre, 262 to 274 Camboy Road, London SE50AY. Tickets available on Eventbrite at www.eventbrite.com/Nigeria Week or numbers below. For more details, visit our website www.superiorradioandtelevision.com. Nigeria Week, produced by SRTV in partnership with the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture, Nigeria Film Corporation, and
Okay, my people, it cannot be better than this. The Nigerian Week in London 2023 got you covered to the extent that you can get a free ticket to the event. And this is all you need to do. Go to the Google Play Store and download TapTap app. Send as low as £1 to the account in Nigeria using SRTV as your transaction code. Screenshot your transaction and send to 447-459-513619 or email it to events@superiorradioandtelevision.com and the ticket will be sent to you ASAP. This is powered by SRTV London and TapTap Send. You already know what time it is. Your boy Ice Prince Amani. I can't wait to ride this.
Hooray! It's Nigeria Week London 2023. This is a celebration of Nigerian foods, film, arts, culture, fashion, music, dance, and comedy. Also, there will be a comprehensive economic summit, exhibition of Nigerian organic agricultural produce, and a meritorious recognition performance awards to deserving Nigerians and industry icons. Nigeria Week will showcase Afrobeat A-list artists, Ice Prince, Terry G, Orishefemi, Oris Wiliki, Konga, Bijiano, Nice Flow, Jet Play, and many more. Dates 17th to 23rd July 2023. Time 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. daily. Venue Lighthouse Theatre, 262 to 274 Camboy Road, London SE50AY. Tickets available on Eventbrite at www.eventbrite.com/Nigeria Week or numbers below. For more details, visit our website www.superiorradioandtelevision.com. Nigeria Week, produced by SRTV in partnership with the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture, Nigeria Film Corporation.
Okay, my people, it cannot be better than this. The Nigerian Week in London 2023 got you covered to the extent that you can get a free ticket to the event. And this is all you need to do. Go to the Google Play Store and download TapTap app. Send as low as £1 to the account in Nigeria using SRTV as your transaction code. Screenshot your transaction and send to 447-459-513619 or email it to events@superiorradioandtelevision.com and the ticket will be sent to you ASAP. This is powered by SRTV London and TapTap Send. You already know what time it is. Your boy Ice Prince Amani. I can't wait to ride this.
Okay, it's so exciting. The game's been dark, but I'm igniting. Positive flow.
Hooray! It's Nigeria Week London 2023. This is a celebration of Nigerian foods, film, arts, culture, fashion, music, dance, and comedy. Also, there will be a comprehensive economic summit, exhibition of Nigerian organic agricultural produce, and a meritorious recognition performance awards to deserving Nigerians and industry icons. Nigeria Week will showcase Afrobeat A-list artists, Ice Prince, Terry G, Orishefemi, Oris Wiliki, Konga, Bijiano, Nice Flow, Jet Play, and many more. Dates 17th to 23rd July 2023. Time 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. daily. Venue Lighthouse Theatre, 260.
Hello viewers, you're welcome back from that quick break. I did promise to come back with a guest, but our guest is a little bit under the weather and we're not sure he will be able to join us today because of some health issues. And then we move on quickly with the reviews of the paper, and I'm going to start from
the Nigerian Tribune. The big headline here says, CBN lifts cash deposit cap on the domiciliary accounts. Allows $10,000 withdrawal daily. You can find that story on page 6 of the Nigerian Tribune this morning. And here we have another headline that says, police deploy mobilized policemen to troubled Plateau LGAs. You can find out. Okay, let me take that again. Police deploy mobile policemen to troubled Plateau local government areas. You can find that story on page 28 of the Tribune newspaper this morning. And here another headline says Saudi Arabia announces June 27 Arafat Day. You can find that story on page 5 of the Nigerian Tribune this morning. And here another writer says NACON assures of completing elites of Nigerian pilgrims Thursday. You can find that story on page 5 of the Nigerian Tribune this morning. And here we have another headline that says more facilitation as Eze Anaba emerges NGE president. You can find that story on page 3 of the Nigerian Tribune this morning. And here we have another headline that says bandits kill father, 4 sons in Zaria, roast 200 cows. You can find that story on page 27 of the Nigerian Tribune this morning. And here we have another headline that says disclose pension paid to you as ex-governor. Serap tells Akpabio others in 10th Senate. You can find that story on page 22 of the Nigerian Tribune this morning. And here we have another headline that says Qatar-based drug lord arrested as NDLEA intercepts met consignment at Lagos airport. You can find that story on page 27 of the Nigerian Tribune this morning. And then we have another headline that says Lagos government begins demolition of 17 distressed buildings in Alaba Market. You can find that story on page 26 of the Nigerian Tribune this morning. Another headline here says federal government mills assets rationalization sale of refineries. You can find that story on page 7 of the Nigerian Tribune this morning. And here we have another headline that says I was poisoned, flown to Beirut, suffered kidney liver failure, says Wike. You can find that story on page 3 of the Nigerian Tribune this morning. I think that's all the headline we have this morning on the Nigerian Tribune newspaper.
Quite a lot there.
A lot
coming from. And as regarding to Wike being poisoned, this is the reason why I just feel like you don't leave your food open. You don't leave like you should be careful with the people around you, especially when you see politics. They might tell you, well, the same party will have the same vision, but they have another thing. And it's not just politics now. Even in churches, we see this thing. A lady came to see me yesterday as regarding to what happened. Church people came to me and a lady narrated an ordeal, how her husband died. I was like, wow, please, this is too much for my ears, please.
You are going through that already.
a lot of things are happening. People are just there. How somebody will go somewhere and bring poison to kill another human being for what reason is what I don't know.
But most times they forget that even if, for example, you poison me and I die now, it's just because maybe I'm the first to die. At the end of the day, you still die.
That is
People
just the
don't tend
thing.
to reason that kind of thing. They don't think about that. They just think about the present. So and
It's really sad to know that people you feel like you can trust, you okay around, and these same people try to kill you, take your life away in the name of politics, in the name of whatever it is, business or money. Is really sad. So you should be careful with people around you. Yes, this is it's. I was surprised when she's
This one says Lagos government begins demolition of 17 distressed buildings
in Alaba Market. Yes, they should demolish. When it comes to Lagos, I concur to that, because a lot of these structures, I don't know if have you been to Alaba Market?
Truly, I've not been to the market. I think I passed, but I know that the market is too tight.
It's not that tight now. If you go to Balogun Market, if you go to Alaba Market, if you go to some of these major markets in Lagos, you get to see that some of these structures, they are no longer. I fear for people in these shops, because you could see that this building is almost going down. No strength. The cracks are there. You see that it's almost coming down already, and they are still there. People are still there. I don't know how they survive, but the tension alone is going to kill me.
I was even complaining to the person that actually carried me to pass. Although I couldn't enter the market, I was like, how do people pass here? Because I feel like it's too tight.
The weight of the goods, a lot of things, and this is Lagos. That is what they tell you.
And that is why if you're coming here, if you hold your phone on your own, like if you hold your phone, you come to this market with your phone, because you won't even know when they'll carry it. Because it's too tight, you know that your body is touching.
So I understand that. We know that in recent, like earlier this year, we saw demolitions from Balogun markets, like repeatedly for stretch. How many times? So if the Lagos, and then the governor did promise that he was going to go into markets, into places to, they will start supervising with engineers to supervise houses, and probably they've gone, they've seen that these 17 one, this one marked for demolition, are no longer, they don't have business standing, they should be brought down. Then so be it, they should be brought down for the peace, of course, and the lives of the people.
And I like this headline here that says police deploy mobile policemen to troubled Plateau government.
Yes, and we should see more of that, not just in Plateau, but in Kaduna,
In other states.
in other states. So at least, well, sometimes too, when the citizens, when you see the presence of security people around, it tends to give you some sense of security. Okay, even though you know maybe that is not 100%, but at least you be at peace. You sleep with one eye. But this one, they don't even sleep with the two eyes closed. They are sleeping, their eyes are open. Who would want to live that kind of life? Yes, we move on quickly to the next newspaper we have. That would be the Leadership. These are some of the stories coming from the Leadership. Lobby for appointments begins as federal government moves dissolution of boards. And the rider says OSGF foreign's ignorance. Party loyalists hope for political patronage. North got 289 slots. South 278 under Buhari. Exercise necessary to streamline Tinubu's vision. All these stories are on page 4 of the Leadership newspaper. We also have a story here that says we have not declared Matawale wanted, says EFCC, and that story is on page 14 of the Leadership newspaper. We also have a story here that says Apapa Port marks history, Berth's largest container vessel, and that story is on page 20 of the Leadership newspaper. We also have a story here that says Nigeria needs $60 billion foreign reserve to stabilize Naira exports. That story is on page 4 of the Leadership newspaper. I was present at PDP secretariat in 2018. This is coming from Wiki, and that story is on page 7 of the Leadership newspaper. We also saw a story here that says domiciliary accounts, CBN lifts restriction on deposit withdrawal. That story is on page 19 of the Leadership newspaper. There's a story here that says disclosed life pensions received. Sarah tells ex-governors, and that story is on page 7 of the Leadership newspaper. We also have a story here that says Super Eagles beats Sierra Leone 3-2 to qualify for AFCON 2023, and that story is on page 23 of the Leadership newspaper. These are all the stories we have coming from the Leadership this morning.
Big congratulations to our Eagle.
Yes, congratulations to them. At least now that we have the likes of Osimhen and others.
Yes, Osimhen.
The ginger will be there. The fact that
Osimhen has been at the top, like everywhere. Our machine, and congratulations to him.
Yes, and I saw a story here. Papa Port make history, Berth's largest container vessel. Congrats to us, but how do people walk around in Apapa? I go to Lagos, I'm literally crying like a baby. That's one place I don't wish to go again. Nobody should take me there for any reason. And whether or not it's congested, you can't move. Human beings cannot move. Bikes cannot move. Vehicles cannot move. The amount of containers on the road, the amount of things I saw there, it's just, I don't want to go there. I used to tell my agents in Lagos, don't bring me to Lagos. Whatever you want to do, do it. Clear the car, whatever, bring it out. I can go to Lagos. I can go to maybe First Stack, somewhere at the hotel. You just drive it to me there, and we are done. But me going there, please, I will pay any amount not to go to that place, because I don't even know. It's just that Lagosians are so used to this lifestyle. Now they see nothing wrong with being in that kind of environment. They tell you like it's like normal to them. But such a thing can never be normal to me. That place is too congested. I don't know what federal government is going to do, But that is another thing, another ball game for the federal government needs to sit down, map plans, map out plans, how to discongest that whole Apapa area so that even residents living there will have fresh air. And then there's a story here that also says, we have a story here. Nigeria needs $16 billion foreign reserve to stabilize Naira. This is coming from expert. I did say on this show some time ago that I don't envy the president. I don't envy the governors. They have a lot to do. And I am happy also that he came with that energy. It's as if the man understood the mandate. He said last week he was telling the governors, National Assembly leadership, that now you've been inaugurated. Roll your sleeves. You know why you were brought here. No time for honeymoon or for chit chat. So we just wait and see. We move quickly to the next newspaper we have.
We have this day newspaper. And here the big headline says CBN FX reforms aimed at transparency, liquidity, discouraging speculation. And here another writer says PEGs withdrawal from the ministerial account at $10,000 per day. Another writer says to prioritize orderly settlement of FX for transaction to boost market confidence. And here we have another story that says direct banks to ensure expenditures, processing of BTA, PTA, school fees, orders. And here another story says Apex Bank to normalize its CRR maintenance processes, ensures equity. You can find all the stories on page 5 of this day newspaper this morning. And here we have another headline that says 10th Senate, jostling for principal offices begins. Ndume, Kalu, Buhari, Musa, others, Senate leader. And here we have another story that says Bloomberg, Nigerian oil shipping costs so as tanker owners stay clear. And here another writer says protest rocks Angola over fuel price hike. And another story says fuel subsidy, NLC, CUC resume talk with FG today. You can find those stories on page 5 of this day newspaper this morning. I think that's all the story we have this morning on this day newspaper.
Well, quite a lot also coming from this day newspaper, but they are more focused on economy, and that is what we should focus on as well.
Yeah.
Yes, we've seen most of those stories in other papers, so we just go to the last newspaper we have for today, and that would be the Punch Sport Extra. The main headline here says AFCON 2023 qualifiers, Nigerian 3, Sierra Leone 2. Ivorians, here we come. Ian Ashaw's winner plus Osimhen's brace helps Eagles qualify for Ivory Coast 2023 AFCON. Now that story is on page 6 of the Punch Sport Extra this morning. There's a story here that says goal machine. Osimhen now Eagles 6th top scorer. And that story is as well on page 6 of the Punch Sport Extra. There's a story here that says Uganda 1, Algeria 2. Forces maintain perfect record. And that story is on front page of the Punch Sport Extra. There's a story here that says Rashford to become United highest earner on page 5 of the Punch Sport Extra. We also have a story here that says Arsenal close in on Harvest deal, and that story is on page 4 of the Punch Sport Extra this morning. As well, there's a story here that says Ten Hag furious with Glazers over Rice transfer, and that story is on page 4 of the Punch Sport Extra this morning. There's a story here as well that says AFCON praises for Adeleye, knocks for Omeru, and that story is on page 6 of the Punch Sport Extra this morning. We have a story here that says stats leaders Haaland, Messi in top performing stars of 2022-2023. We also have a story here that says Nations League final, misery for Croatia, joy for Spain. And that story is on page 8 of the Punch Sport Extra this morning. These are some of the stories we have coming from the Punch Sport Extra. You're a football fan, so I really don't know much, but is this a name of a player, Rice? Like the rice we eat?
Yeah, that's the name of the player.
Wow.
Let's even talk about this Rashford. This is a Manchester United player. Because they said to become
United highest earner, yes.
He's a good player. Just like Haaland. You know Haaland, once you see Haaland play, most times they just focus on him, how to bring him down. Because if you leave Haaland, he will score. That's one thing about him. So when it comes to the Manchester United player, I think Rashford is another one of their top players there.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think
and then I want to ask you as a sport person now, a sport fan, like there's a story here that says he now shows winner plus Osimhen's breeze helps Eagles qualify for Ivory Coast 2023. Do you think this is correct?
Yeah, it is. Because Iheanacho is good, same as Osimhen. So I guess it is their efforts that actually helped out.
And I think their presence around.
Alex, what happened? Why did you put
Alex Iwobi?
Yeah,
at least I know that one's name.
He's good
thing.
Now. Alex too is good, so I don't know why they didn't include his name. But Iheanacho, and
Osimhen.
Once Osimhen is not complaining on a particular match, you don't have issues. He knows how to complain. No, Osimhen.
Really?
You just see you complaining to coach every time he plays more. That is one disadvantage of him. So, but once you focus on that match, you just see him scoring. So
okay, now that means maybe their presence also, because we know he flown into the country last week. Yeah. That means their presence also gingered, kind of spiced up the whole thing and helped the other players to know that
there was a match that Osimhen played that
they lost.
That is probably lost.
Wow, really?
People were complaining that Osimhen, are you playing match or you're quarreling? He was just busy complaining everything, so he wasn't actually focused on it. But you see, it will be one thing I noticed about it will be the guy is good though. Is good, both Ian and Chotsu. So.
And Osimhen also, congratulations. They call him goal machine. That is what I'm seeing here. Now Eagles 6th top scorer.
When it comes to Nigeria, you see Osimhen is very good in scoring. You get, and also Haaland, but I think Haaland is the highest.
Maybe in Nigeria here?
No. He's also a white player, but
okay.
So these are people that knows how to score goals.
Well, that would be a good place to wrap up the show and the reviews as well. Thank you, viewers, for being part of the show today. Apology, we couldn't bring in our guest because he's a little bit under the weather today. But hopefully tomorrow we're going to have him and other guests on the show. Thank you so much, Mary, for being part of the show today. And viewers, just before we go, don't forget our Nigerian Week London that is fast approaching. It's just around the corner. All you have to do is go to everbright.com/Nigerian Week and get your tickets, get your stand. You either come as a buyer, as a seller, somebody that just wants to unwind, have fun, relax. We're going to London to showcase us as a people, so you don't want to be left out. It's all about our culture, our heritage, our food, the film, the music, the business opportunities as well. We have a lot of people partnering with us, ministries, agencies, the filmmakers, actors, musicians, and fashion icons, as well as individuals, whether big or small business. Just come there and showcase your skill, showcase yourself to the world. Don't be left out. It's going to be fun. Also, before we go, don't forget to hit on the notification bell.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel, because we have a lot of entertainment to give to you, we have a lot of educational tips to give to you, and don't forget to leave us with your comment.
Yes, we love to hear from you. Let's get to know your opinion. And while you are out there, no fuel, no money to buy fuel.
Please
be careful. Look at the vehicle and look at the vehicle very well before you enter. Don't go and just hopping into any car
just
you
like
see.
You said, please enter through the parks.
Yes, go to the parks, and private owners as well. Give a helping hand if the need be, please. And we have more interesting program for today coming your way shortly. Stay with us and stay connected. I remain yours truly, Princess KESSY.
And MARYVAL is. Don't forget that peace is priceless.
And let's give peace a chance. See you tomorrow.
Bye.
Hooray! It's Nigeria Week London 2023. This is a celebration of Nigerian foods, film, arts, culture, fashion, music, dance, and comedy. Also, there will be a comprehensive economic summit, exhibition of Nigerian organic agricultural produce, and a meritorious recognition